Let's go down this rabbit hole, shall we? Let me begin with saying, yes, I've seen a lot of stuff in the past with Stephon Marbury outside of basketball. I ain't here for that. Let's keep this on the court. He was a damn good player when he was playing. I don't know if how many of y'all really got a chance to see him in the 90s, late 90s or early 2000s. Specifically with me, that's when I was very familiar with his game. But this guy could hoop. He made all NBA teams, a couple all-star selections. If he had more deeper runs with the teams that he was on going into the playoffs, he would have been more of a coveted player and somebody who would have been known more. But nonetheless, I'm saying that so y'all can know that this is not just some guy on the internet who is acting out, let's say. Now, let me get to what he said on IG. I believe he deleted this post, but it's worth reading. He said, they gave the MVP to the wrong player. Maybe they called out the wrong name by accident. I think we need to try to rewind the moment when Steph Curry displayed himself as the best shooter who ever touched the ball in international ball. If you can't shoot, you can't have the ball at the end of the game. I get LeBron is the king to many, but let me say this. When you give him what he doesn't deserve, you basically say that because of what he's done, he should receive such a high honor on the biggest stage. And he went on to say that LeBron James didn't earn it this time. He's talking about LeBron winning the Olympic MVP. This goes into the voting process and something that I've spoke about before, where you have media members that are selected, a handful at the most, and they get to decide who wins this award. And in the case of the Olympics, I know FIBA, I believe, is also involved, or officials from FIBA. And to be fair to LeBron, in 2020 at the Tokyo Olympics, Kevin Durant was the one who was selected as MVP, just to put that out there for y'all. So when it comes to these award selections, sometimes the media gets it right. Other times they can have their biases as reporters, whether it's because they like a player or they don't like him. Or other times it could be they're just judging the game too much as a reporter as opposed to looking at it from strictly a basketball standpoint.
You nearly made the All-NBA team with Kemba. Kemba got it. You were a couple.
I mean, that's cool and all, but like when you go to 5 straight finals, I respect those guys, but holy, when you go to 5 straight, I mean, it takes more than just a couple NBA guys. That's not. I'd rather win a championship than be 13 All-NBA.
Do you not like that affects potential contract statuses, all NBA stuff, because that would have elevated you to another.
It is what it is. I can't control it.
That was back in 2019. There was a lot of talk about Klay Thompson not making the All-NBA team and that being a snub. And as you all know, there's a lot of incentives in these new deals that players sign. And one of the incentives for Klay Thompson was that if he made an All-NBA selection, he could have got a Supermax. Again, as I was saying, the selections are made by the media. This is where the rifts and the little conflict of interest comes in. I suggest, in my opinion, and y'all can tell me if you agree or disagree with this, that the media members who are making these selections, at least half of those guys got to be former NBA players who are working within the media now. It has to be a split. It can't just be all media members who haven't played the game. It's got to be half and half, in my opinion. But y'all, again, let me know in the comment section. Back to what Stephon Marbury said, though. Let's connect this all. I do think Steph Curry should have been the one who got MVP for the Olympics. And when you look at how this is structured, there's the group play. You play 3 games. The top 2 teams end up advancing to go to the quarterfinals, semifinals, etc. All you really got to do is not lose 2 out of those 3 games, and you usually go through. And Team USA went undefeated. They move on to face Brazil. They beat them convincingly. It wasn't a competitive game at all. Let's stop right there. Up until this point, from group play to the quarterfinals, Steph Curry is struggling. He's averaging less than 10 points a game, shooting bad from the field. Nonetheless, USA got this. It's been smooth sailing. Didn't look like they even needed him at all. At this point, you get to the Serbia game. It's a close game. USA is losing throughout the whole time. This is the semifinals now. Steph Curry starts going berserk when it seemed like Team USA didn't have it and they weren't scoring, which is crazy given the talent that they have. But this is why you put a player like Steph Curry on the squad. He saves the day. LeBron James in a huddle, there's a microphone near him, I guess, and you hear him saying basically that we won this game because of Steph, and he also gave some props to Joel Embiid, who had a decent game as well.
So we got to celebrate. I'm not going to act like it's not, you know what I mean? I know we want to win the gold, but we got to celebrate the small moments too. Guarantee you, everybody here, they'll never forget about this night. Everybody here going to remember this night for the rest of their lives. That's how special this is. And because we came back and we showed how together we were in that fourth quarter. It was incredible.
The way KD was describing that moment, what he felt and what his teammates would remember as a very, very special night for the rest of their lives, as he said, This sounded like the gold medal game to me if I didn't know any better. And so Steph Curry leads them in the Serbia game. This is right after the Serbia win that they had. They go on to win the gold against France. Steph Curry led the team once again with his heroics and shot making. For those who are saying, man, it's only 2 games, he didn't play that way throughout the whole Olympics. Well, first of all, it was the most 2 important games, because I said in the group play you could afford to lose at least one. Brazil, it was a total blowout, so there was nobody needed to save the day there. But let me put it this way. That's like when you see a team that makes the NBA Finals, and there's one guy in particular who led them throughout the whole playoffs consistently. Then the NBA Finals comes and somebody else ends up saving the day. But you don't end up giving the MVP to somebody who was playing great throughout the playoffs leading up to that moment. It matters at the highest moment when there's a championship on the line. Maybe the Olympics needs to change their process as to how they select the Olympic MVP and just keep it to the quarterfinals and beyond. Forget the group play. Let's just judge what they did in the quarterfinals, semifinals, the gold medal, and see who was the MVP for those 3 games. Quickly, let's get into other things that Stephon Marbury had mentioned about LeBron James, and there was a lot. He was really saying very much his opinions on Twitter as to LeBron and what he thinks is the LeBron media that is constantly defending him and he can't speak his mind. And throughout a lot of debates over the years, it's always MJ, Kobe, LeBron, MJ. We always hear these debates. If you have a player who played against Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe, Stephon Marbury came out in the early 90s, late 90s, I should say, sorry. He's someone who can speak to it. And so if you have a player that went up against all 3 guys like this, shouldn't you want to hear him out? Whether you think he's hating, there's a bias or whatever, his opinion matters. He's qualifying himself in this tweet, telling people, check my resume. I'm not mad at it. It's similar to what Kwame Brown. People could laugh and call him a bust, as they do often. But if he played with Michael Jordan, he played with a Kobe Bryant, he played against a LeBron, that's very credible as well. Oftentimes I see fans discredit players like that if they didn't reach this accolade, this championship, Hall of Fame level, but then we'll still give a lot of credence, if not more, to somebody else who didn't play at all, simply because they have a large voice and they're popular. As I was saying though, just a lot of other topics that Stephon was getting into with LeBron and debates online. If you're somebody that's into that, I'm sure if you hit him up, he may respond to you, and maybe you'll see me talking about something that you said in response to him. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to focus the conversation on what Stephon was saying in regards to LeBron winning MVP and him not deserving it this time. It should have been Steph Curry. I would have voted for Curry as well. Let me know what y'all think though. Do you disagree? Do you believe LeBron deservingly got MVP? Or do you see somebody else who should have got it? Hit me up in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, salute for listening. Peace. One more thing. If you check the description, there's an Amazon link for the Kobe Bryant Mamba Mentality book. I've explained this before. He's breaking it down from his whole perspective of what he knows as the NBA and the mentality it takes to play in that league and dominate. Check it out. All right, we out.